Ladies and gentlemen, we're on the verge of a dawning of a new era, which may happen in a year or so, even though a lot of work is to be done. And that era is the formation, or reformation, of the Persian Empire, and subsequently the High Priesthood for Zoroastrianism. We made great gains in the last episode. Now we've taken this kingdom, which is now Shahdom, and then we also took a big part of Iraq through Satrapy of Baghdad, which, by the way, is now existing. Now the question is, who am I going to give it to? In which, after some thinking, I've considered this. It's not going to be ran by a Zoroastrian, as we have a tendency. Instead, it's going to be ran by Nestorians. One's Han, one's Fantine, but he's a woman. Well, he's the only man. 46. That's fine. The Satrapi of Baghdad is yours. And subsequently, the Shahdom of Iraq is yours. And there is reasons for this, as he will soon create vassals of his own now. Baghdad is not only a holy site for Manichaeans, but also the Sunni and the Nestorians. That's the reason why I did that. It's just to spite the Sunnis and a little more added sympathy for the Nestorians, because we want some Nestorian representation in the empire. That is what we wanted. So that's one land we've distributed. Now here's another. Up north, the Armenians, led by Tigran of Derbent, of the Mithranian dynasty, which is of that Parthian blood, descendant of this man, who's a Georgian, but his father was a Zoroastrian Georgian. But again, that was a long time ago, and he lived a lot longer. And yes, they're real too. And as you can see, he hates my guts, with good reasons. I accidentally revoked this title because I did not realize the importance of that bloodline, and I want that bloodline in the future. Even though we already have our own Parthian bloodline through the Karens. But having another one of these through them would be great. But to do that, those Armenians must return to Zoroastrianism as they were a long time ago, before they accepted Christianity, which they were our first people to do so. But we wanted them to return to Zoroastrianism, so that way that my daughters can marry their sons matrilineally. Which, of course, that's going to be a few generations' time. So to please him, we got to give him the Satrapy of Armenia, which he likes me a bit more than was. What else? Oh, court precision. And this woman here. Before we talk about that, we control 70% of the Persian Empire. We could fight a few more wars like this, a bit of that, and Gandhara, but that's impossible now because of defense pacts. And we want the Karen Shahdom to join our empire, but there is a way. And that's going to be through assassinations. It's a good thing she abandoned the commoners, and she's an adulteress. At least the Queen Mother's a friend. She'll be willing to comply to get rid of her daughter. And I will send my spy master there. It should be done rather quickly. And what the hell, you... Get up there and defeat the raiders. Send you up there. Destruction of the House of Wisdom. This is the second time this has occurred. And by the way, they're not talking about this House of Wisdom. That's the university, as part of the university mods, where you put your... when you send your children to be educated over there. That's what they mean by that. Ah, another Nestorian. Stick around, we may need you. There's a reason why we like Nestorians. They're one of the religions that Zoroastrians are allowed to intermarry. After several years I hear from Al-Jazira, he was not one of the most accomplished students, and this has taken a toll on him. Though he managed to graduate, the mental health has suffered. Oh no, he's stressed. But I'm glad you've returned. You may be stressed, but after all, you are a polymath, doctor of law, and a Confucian. Your stewardship skill is very, very high. Do not worry, once your rule will begin, the era of peace and prosperity will begin, and he will be the first Shahanshah, King of Kings. The first ruling one, at that, as we've stated before. Now all we have to do is get rid of her. Poison wine. This better work. Oh, how dare you! Oh, good, you took Mosul. That means we can get rid of the rest of them. And give it all to the Armenians. Lithuania. Keep that plot power up. What was that? Heavenly Circlet. Conquest. Heavenly Circlet, that's a crown. You know, I've always wanted... I never thought about having crown jewels. This belonged to the Kagan. Originally. And then there was that man. Well, what do you know? My first crown. But I don't have no scepter or a necklace or ceremonial weapon. Anything else like that? Yeah, the door to Golden Wings. By the way, this is a Zoroastrian style crown jewel. It's nice to know. And that man was my husband. I didn't know he owned a heavenly circlet, which again originally belonged to some long dead cognate. You, marry me, even though I'm too old to have children. Don't care. Just need to have high stewardship. Ever since the Battle of Khuzestan, that was back in the Jihad, I find it hard to be near for my children, but for fear of being sent away again. I cannot stand the thought of us losing each other. This distance is better. Surely it is better. I'm already old enough, no need to be celibate, but I do not have nightmares, servant. How dare you? I'll be depressed. It might come to some use. But I don't want to die of depression just yet. Out. And you too. It will all go to the Armenian. Hurry up and assassinate her before I expire. I'm too old for this sort of thing. Did your war. I approve. Return to Baghdad. That's your new station for the retinue, unless there's raiders back there. Which, of course, we can raise our own troops if we want to deal with them, and if we wish to. Yeah. Reason for marriage? It's just to keep that domain size up. The satrapy of CK2 is yours, and Ani as well. There you go. Half of Armenia is yours. Your old homeland. Move this capital and change the satrapy of Armenia as primary. We got her. Okay. He must be the ruler of Persia. And until then, we have to get rid of him and his brother. They'll have no heirs, but it will go to him. And subsequently, this Shahdom will join our empire, therefore subsequently formation of the Persian Empire. It's slowly becoming a reality. As I'm 60 years old, and my son is 21, and stressed, but he'll get over it soon enough. There are things that can get rid of his stress. At least, as far as we know. You're next. Just a few months and we'll put a spy network in Khorasan. Nishapur to be exact, of his position. Since we have so much money, it doesn't hurt to put a few more. There we go. Should be noted that us being neighbors of the Byzantine Empire, which are way stronger than us, some of that is due to higher mercenaries, which means if we wanted it to, we can declare great wars, great conquests in places like Georgia or Armenia, if we got enough prestige. So that would be up to my son. Like, if my son wants to prove to himself that he's one of the greats, then declaring a great conquest for Armenia would be the most logical, because we own half of it, and we want a bit more of Armenia. And these three counties. Though Holy War ain't enough, but that's up to my son. All right. And they do not have a defense pact against us, because they're the ones that are just about as much of an expansionist as we are. Here's another one for you. Stewardship good for you? 21st. And then we'll send them in. How you doing with this new Kurdish Zoroastrian? Alright, fair enough. Who's running Baghdad, by the way? Again, the reason why the Kurd. Part Kurdish, part Assyrian, part Levantine Arabic. Just a reminder of who the heck they are. And plus, them being Kurdish looks at us more positively as of the Iranian culture. How much is for the garden? Because that's the one I wanted to build in Samarkand. Takes 7 years, 7 years and 6 months. Let's get to work. My son will finish this said work. And it's still enough money to get whatever you need for this great thing we're for. Oh, yes. You want out? Go for it. Take your time. There's still money in them. And that's all they could pay. What's taking you so long? Hurry up and assassinate the boy. They're being harassed by raiders in Samarkand, the traders and travelers. Send my marshal to hunt them down. Deemed too dangerous to interfere with the caravan raiders, refused to carry out my orders. I could have been arrested for this, however, it would not solve the problem of merchants being attacked on my trade routes. I will have to root out the raiders myself. After sunset, I managed to track down the raiders in Kemet, and me and my men decide to, well, I'm an intriguing person, so wait until midnight and sneak up on the guards. After subduing the guards, watch, we enter the leader's tent. While he's fast asleep, I draw my blade, placing him with great precision against his throat. Suddenly, his eyes flicker open and his gaze wanders the tent with dazed urgency. I realize if I do not act quickly, he may very well draw attention to it. Oh no, just threaten them to leave my land. So, the caravan raiders are gone. Don't you know who I am? Giving you this one chance. Quit being so timid. Quietly dispatch that child. Take him on a trip in the wilds. I'm a murderer, even though I'm already am. So now, it's like, yeah, family's a rival. And I guess we're rivals too, but do not worry. You're next. And then after we get rid of him, he inherits and therefore part of the Empire now. But we must act fast before I will expire. If we can get him, then those people don't have to see my rule of tyranny ever again. And my son will do the honors. What's his piety? And creating the Persian Empire title is, how much piety required? 400. Oh, don't worry about that. Don't you worry. Hardly ever use him. Of course. Just making sure everything's alright. Now, as technology to Samarkand, we'll up the Majesty so we can get close to the Majesty 5. That's far. Up on the cavalry a bit. You know how effective we are when it comes to cavalry. We got him. And the Karen Shahdom has joined the Turan Empire. The Karen Shahdom is one. Kabulistan, Khorasan, Dalam, and Persia. All one. In which we're going to have to just tell them to demand Galvokind. But that's up to my son. The world is too cruel for children. Alright. Look. I am of the past, alright? I am the last shield maiden. Except her, but what has she ever done? I mean, I'm the last of the ruling shield maidens, in which I've stated before that I am of the old era. And those people who loved me or hated me will never forget me. By the way, where are you? So, the guy who holds the two satrapies lives there. Well, I guess that means, well, get the heck out of here. Okay, my last act. I will commit suicide right now. No need for a duel to the end because it would be unfair. So, highest balcony in the cube offers one last view of my realm. Glad we are able to connect the land. Now you inherit that war and you're going to take it over easily. Good, now he's gone and oh, don't worry about it. Let the son deal with that. He's gonna have it worked out. I indulged in one last look at the surrounding landscape before I climbed the railing. It was a beautiful sight, yet I would not miss it. A deep breath, and then I fell, free as a bird. Now, the endless rest. Empress Yena has ascended to heaven at age 61. She committed suicide, and that's all we're going to have to say about that. Now, Emperor Dariush, or Shahanshah Dariush, blessed with awesome knowledge of all things between heaven and earth, his rule is sure to be legendary. Long live Emperor Dariush. Yeah, don't worry about that become independent, and so is this one. What's important is we kept the empire together. But first order, let me start speaking Sogdian again. So now you see me wear this crown. It's the crown of the Shahanshah. Wait a minute, burning fat. Member of the Wheel of Life and Death. I shouldn't be part of this. Don't have me kicked out soon enough because I changed culture. Don't worry about it. Now, what you should concern yourself is perform the sky burial. As my mother's heir, it falls upon me to bring her to the mountains. She will be offered to the birds of prey, and in death she will generously share her flesh with all living creatures. May her spirit soar into the heavens. I shall take her to the mountains myself. Just let the period of mourning begin. and then a period of jubilation. Continue the construction of the garden. I've been slowly drifting away from the philosophical ideals I've claimed to follow. Platonic philosophy seems a lot closer to me with its mystical, social, and societal ideas. Maybe it would be best to follow this new path. This would be a good change. Tank sculpture inherited. Supposed I'm a graduate. After reaching the mountains, I carefully placed the body in what I deemed a good location. I can already hear the vultures soaring above me as I perform the necessary rituals. When I start to make my way back down, it does take longer till the vultures begin to tear at the flesh with both beak and claw. You are with Ahura Mazda now. Right. Let's get everybody together. The Chancellor shall be, unusually, the Armenian. He will like me a bit more. You will be around Spabod. A Darikpat. Oh yes, my rival who made me ambitious. Will be you. And a court chaplain shall be him. Now, our family is very small, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. But what you should be concerned about is there anyone that's plotting to kill me at this point? Me, Dariush. Nobody, huh? And since I'm a man of stewardship, let's go for Haruvatat, perfection. 30,000 strong. We are about as strong as our neighbor, but not as strong as the other neighbor. And my focus, I'm thinking. I'm a thinking man when it comes to such things. I'm good with just about anything. My mother was able to get everybody in line through intrigue, and there's no need for that. I've made plenty of enemies in my day. Thinking. I mean, business is kind of too obvious. I mean, rulership is a maybe. But look, I'm greedy with just about anything. Maybe I should just start off hunting. You know, just why the heck not? And see that the realm prosper. Because please remember, man with very high stewardship. All we need is a bit of piety. Just wait. Why, we have all these books. And the armor and this new crown. And look at all these swords. I ought to start giving them away. But the question is, who? Yeah, we changed culture. I would like to join the Great Trade League, but I won't join until November. Fair enough. because I want to apply my trade there. Glad you created them yourselves. Now, let's hold the Jashanissarid Festival. Great way to get piety. Whenever the old man dies, and his son takes over, he's the one we gotta tell him to convert to Zoroastrian. But for now, we gotta start swaying him. He's the first guy to be swayed. And since we have so much money, let's find a resource. Hey, wait a minute, I could do two of these things. Go hunt and Jashan Festival? Oh, how do you like that? I don't want to hunt right now. It's understandable. He's Shia, he's Taoist. Because I'm Midas Touch, may the realm prosper. General opinion up. Well, the Zoroastrians have freed themselves. If only there were more Zoroastrian realms. Because it kind of makes me wonder, well, if they ever get themselves into a war, we ought to send our retinue to defend them. Any way we can. Too bad these guys aren't Zoroastrian. They are. It's good to see that. But I need the Moabad here to get more piety. And heretics to burn. Let's celebrate the glory of our Maz. Basically, anybody that comes to these lands and try to raid, the vassals will deal with them. So we should send them back to Samarkand. We gained 100 piety. We need 200 more. Now let me go hunting for once. First ever grand hunt in Samarkand. I will find a white tiger. Tigers? Well, there used to be Capsian tigers. Not the tigers of India, unless you're referring to the tigers of the Indus. The dogs have caught the scent of a boar in the forest. This is a chance of getting the mighty boar slain. I'll face it alone with my spear. Got him. Didn't get injured for this. That's the risk. While chasing an agile deer, my horse stumbled and broke his leg. Luckily, I was thrown off, but now my horse is in pain. I will end this suffering myself. Oh look, a little bit of piety. Sat next to Idris at dinner when he tells about a family of Muslims which was attacked by his capital, Shivan. They will never see their friends or relatives again. A poor souls, Idris says with a heavy sigh. Well, there are a few Shia Muslims here, so I have sympathy for them, just this once. You got it. We're not there yet. We have the money, but we need the piety as we control 91% of it. What this? By the way, those people who I ought to marry to. Who I ought to marry to. Did you hear those saying those words? Okay, what about with good diplomacy? Look at you, doctor of law just like me. She's a professor. Chosen to give up political power in favor and study? I was about to say, don't we know each other? You know what, I'll marry you. If you are willing, despite the fact that you are a professor. Like, you don't want to be the beneficent? Well, we could change that mind, won't we? But after all, the wisdom says you're my liege. And she wanted to marry a ruler anyhow. It looks like life being a professor doesn't seem to be that interesting for you. Well then. And I'll be sure to get a few concubines in the future. Get the money. Idiot headmaster. And now that she's married, well, she's still technically a professor. Professor and with a doctor of law just like me, which I once wrote the valuable law code. Proud of my hunting abilities. Oh! I just remembered. The Trade League. Time to join. I received a letter about your interest in joining our Trade League. You must know that we don't care about what you believe in or what you are entitled to. What we care about is what we can achieve for ourselves by ourselves. Do you agree to be seen as our equal, even if it means to be shunned by people that will believe you are breaking the class barrier? If you are, let's trade symbolically. Let's trade. Due to my extremely high stewardship, I gained 16.5. My kindness would hinder it, but I have a good mind and I'm very ambitious about it. This is what we mean by era of peace and prosperity. That's what he was meant for, and he got it. Even if he feels sympathy for others, but he cannot join no secret society because he's already a member of a society. And burn, need a piety. Things are changing in the new millennium. Oh, is there anything you desire? Because I recall that county of Balk is not part of Sogdiana. Who runs Balk? Satrapia Balk. You. You want this, do you? But let me check its resource. Stone quarry. I kind of need that. For a while, at least, until we find another resource locally. It's gonna have to wait. Maybe we should have gone for theology focus. And we can't hold for another 5 years for another gestion. You and me are gonna get along. You're the heir, right? Still the heir to Armenia. Got a stack of linen cloths. Cloths. There it is. Something to trade with. In the future. My palace was enriched by your visit. As I said, I'm skilled at just about anything. And I'm going to hit auto stop plots for once because I'm very paranoid. I'll send you to deal with it. your martial skills very high anyhow. I caught Moabadan-Moabad of Dagestan and my courtier Ma in flagrant. Most impassioned, they did not understand, but I'm still in shock. You ought to be exposed for this. And I don't mean exposing, you know what I mean. But let me tell you, that 4,000 strong retinue needs to increase. Ooh, way up, so. Let me see. So it'll be 5,000 strong. That's what I had in mind all along. And you know what? Just for once, because we never had a chance to do this, hold a grand tournament. I've sent forth messengers around the world to spread the word that the grand tournament is to be held. The tournament begins soon. Caught an act of reading Buddhist scripture and giving praise to Angra Mainyu. Burn, burn, burn. Burn means more piety. And killing infidel raiders gives us a bit more piety. Of course, some of that is a bit far off, but it can be dealt with. Let me be in the front line. Let me give myself a chance to prove to myself that I have what it takes. Let them work at their own pace. I don't want to get involved, and I don't want to lose the assets. Well, they already got that handled. Just let the tournament begin, and for the next 2 months, let all show their martial brilliance. A lot of people are going to get hurt or injured. Hurt or injured means the same thing. You mean hurt or killed. Unfortunate. It's our first ever tournament, and everybody's getting hurt. This one he got killed, which often it'll say died in battle. This is a very deadly tournament we put together. Maimed, wounded. He can't. He died too. He was a man of the faith. He wasn't a warrior. Stop. Okay. Who would be the most competent? You both have the same set of skills. You're 27, you're 33. You are the game master. Okay. Iraq is yours. All of it. You are the breadwinner. And if you die, then he gets it. You will be the advisor, which should be enough to put whatever. Like I wanted to hold back on. Well, we got so much because thanks to diplomacy, there's no need for that. What I do need is go back on that. I was planning on giving a title on that guy. You've inherited. What about her? What you doing? Holy war for Samara, and you're winning. Taking care of the enclaves. Chief Zotwak of Bozachi. 3rd place. Taj, Zoroastrian Afghan. 2nd place. Winner, Anushivan, Persian military tutor and commander of Hormuz. Surely deserves it. prosperity slightly increases. Oh, good. Something that'll get more piety. A Sunni uprising. Oh, that's a big one. Luckily, local forces are bigger. Well, actually, let me fight the raiders first. Well, put me on this flank. I want my first taste in battle. And we'll deal with the Sunni rebels. Defeating the raiders will get you a bit of piety. Because of their different faith. Manichaean in particular. See? Get back to your post. Don't want to be there by myself. There you are. Wait till the morale goes up, and they'll be dealt with. There's a high demand for steel, and the Trade League is buying all the shipments they could find. They will offer my maximum market value for. We don't have any resources that has a steel furnace, so guess I'm to have to go get in the market. But let's deal with this one first. Strategist. There goes my aunt. Oh, by the way, last living shield maiden. We captured him. $200 piety. Oh, let's do this thing. It's a bit symbolic. We did say this was a passing of an old era. The last of the shield maidens have passed. But wait for the new year. This is the year 1000, and it's the year that the Persian Empire has returned. Yes, it's called Persian Empire, not the Sogdian Empire. And of course the adjective is Persian. Even though we are an Empire of Turan, or the Sogdian Empire, also known as the Kayani Empire, or a Kayanid, or Kayanian, which can same to be said about the Persian Empire, so now I hold 2 imperial titles. But the problem with that is that I have no sons. So this could split away from me, the Persian Empire title, unless I have sons. Not daughters. Which means now, on this same year, with the reformation of the Persian Empire, we have to get 300 more piety to restore the High Priesthood. There's much more work to be done. Well, meanwhile, let's go shopping. The sky is clear and my purse is full. A manservant has prepared a cart for me with a strong horse to buy. Strong horse to transport any goods I may buy or sell. Let's head for the market on the first day as the Shahanshah of Turan and Persian Empire. I am the king of kings of Turan and Persia. Man suddenly comes up to me. He claims to have the greatest offer of my life and only need to pay in advance. No, I'm here to the market. I'm looking for some steel, so the market is lively and ready for business. Are you buying or selling? I'm here to buy. There are lots of shops, and not enough time to browse them all. But I'm more interested in buying the treasures from the depths of the earth, the richest harvest of the soil, the gifts from the hunt, and livestock, or the results of the work of artisans. treasures like stone, steel, gems, silver, and gold. Got any steel? A dusty and smoky part of the market. Stone cutters, miners, gem cutters. These men transform simple stones into the foundation of our wars and economy. A lot of money can be found here. No steel. You know, we can get stone from that stone quarry. So, nothing of interest. So it's a bit of a waste of assets and a visit, but unless you want to look for somebody in the trade league that may have steel in their treasury. In other words, go look for every one of them. I'll buy them with my own money, if you got the steel. Always look for trade masters. They tended to have a lot. Or lack thereof. How many trade masters are there? 20 of them! Whoa. Foe hammer. Matter of fact, that's his. He created that. Must have used artisans to create that weapon. Oh, one of my vassals is also a member of it, and he's a journeyman trader. He's been doing this for a while. Oh, that's stones. I thought I saw steel. Korean. He lives here. No steel. There it is. Alright. You'll pay. I will lose 30 assets, and I will pay 30 extra. Determined by society influence if the offer is accepted. Look, I will buy it at market value. You're a master trader. I hope you are savvy enough to know that. No need to go below. He'll refuse that. So, at market value. I received your offer for my crate of steel ingots, and I find it acceptable. I'm happy to accept your ducats in exchange for my goods. Pleasure doing business with you. So there goes another 30. Now we can deliver the trade goods, in which I'll make 324 gold and gain 100 assets. Basically make up for what I've lost from going to that market. But it's a start. It's just to complete a mission. 300 piety. Alright, remember that. 300 piety. Quran of the Shia faith. Oh no, get rid of that. There's no better man in increasing the church's opinion of me, or teach me to become more pious than my Moabad Tarkun. Teach me to be a pious person, Tarkun. I need that for a year. Rival? Oh, you're a member of the Trade League too, just like me. I was about to say, what rank are you? Because I mean, I know I'm the newest, you know, peddler. What's your name? Octagon. Just wondering how long has he been? I've been since. He's been there 3 years before. So, I can transfer my linen cloths, like whatever I'm... Stop stuttering! Like hell what I'm gonna do with those, so give me more money. Pleasure doing business with you, rival. Oh, thank goodness I'm married to a woman who's a professor and a religious woman. She's trained as a cleric and has taken upon herself to treat with the priests to gather support for my role. So far, it seems to be working rather well. Everything that she said garnered their attention, and few contributed rare tomes to the castle libraries. 100 more. And we got raiders. Kill a few of them, and we'll get more piety. Hope for another religious uprising, that'll be a good one. Can't do that. I don't have much of the assets, which I need to save up to rank up. Bukhara and Khorasan? Trust. Oh dear. Just in case. Eat plenty of spicy food to remedy my fatigue. Okay. Oh yeah, it's important I marked from the previous playthrough. Or was that a Syria? You're not ruler yet, but it's only a matter of time. I'll share my knowledge of statesmanship with him. A man of high stewardship. How many friends do I have? Plenty. Just wondering. Ah, it's the flu. Don't worry about that. As long as you know what you're doing. Told me to undress and then kneel with my buttocks raised. That was awkward enough. When I saw the instrument in my hands, I almost bolted. I must have noticed because he patted me calmly on the shoulder and told me to stop clenching. I actually feel better. Thank you. I don't remember what dishonorable thing she did. Wait a minute, I remember. She tried to assassinate me long ago. And she's got money. Surprised they haven't had children. I could banish her, but I fear this would start up a host claimant, which... I don't want no more competition. I'm trying to start my own family, damn it. Here you are, cousin. And remember, he's the heir to the Persian Empire unless I get a son out of it. Which would be any time. But if I don't get children by the age of 30, I'm gonna go get me some concubines. Keep that well in mind. You are winning. These areas are being repopulated, especially Kurdistan. It's back to normal population levels. Again, we cannot expand anymore, so this is why I was given a stewardship education and later joined the Great Trade League. For times like these. Raiders. They'll be dealt with soon enough. Oh no, we got a guy who goes way faster. Every little bit helps. I'm all better now. Let's get them. And get ready to raise a few more for additional reinforcements. That country can use a tax break. Oh, hell. Don't worry, we got him. I guess the High Priesthood would be restored next year. Anyone else? Anyone else that tries to dare test the might of the Empire? Oh, we were too late. We were too late to help out the Zoroastrians, which would have been great. Now they're gone. Again. Remember, our new rival for future conflicts is our old enemy, the Byzantine Empire. They may be a big enemy, but if we ever want to go with a war against them, it should be for Armenia. At least we're becoming friends, me and Twinick. Who's your rival? That's evenly matched. Allow the duel. He's strong and fat. Another wool for you? Alright. Whatever makes me more money. Which we better go to that market again. Because I feel like buying something. Blacksmiths ask for money in the project. They'll pay me back later in weapons and armor. It's for increased levy size, tech points, and retinue maintenance costs reduced when you send a shipment in. Make a major investment. I was reminded of the silk money. It's stable now. Who do I gotta send away? Don't want to send him away, he's good to me. That one I will send. I got nothing for him. I would like to raise up to 2,000 grace and get a trade contract. So we can make more money and use that money for trade league related activities. Almost there. There goes mother-in-law. Raiders! Get them! Yeah, you may have heard that tone in my voice that I sound a bit enthusiastic about it. Little piety gain is good piety gain. Flaxfield, that means more linen cloths. Enemy commander slain. Gotcha. Wait a minute, these guys are Zoroastrians. Hey, you used to hold that land. You work for them. Kostas. What do I gotta do to recruit you? Because, you know, the claimants. We gotta put you under house arrest. I mean, the better is, why don't we just... We can't recruit him, because he's too valuable. Because I would love to help him out with the claimant, but... temporary. The influence is so high, it's less assets cost to go to. I'm looking for something else. Simple but important district. Grains, vegetables, firewood, cloths. Without the peasants producing these goods, the realm would be in dire straits. That's what I want. Lumber. The cheap one. Stop. Look. 301. So in the year 1000, the Persian Empire is formed. 1 year later, the High Priesthood is restored. If the Zoroastrian faith makes a return as a state religion of Persia, the time will be ripe for the reinstitution of the office of the priests and priests, the Moabadan-Moabad. Now the Zoroastrian church exists. There you have it. Here's our religious head. He is Moabadan-Moabad. Pretty good for a first one, except that he's a bit cruel, but this is what you get. So that's who he is. The priest of priests. With him as our religious head, the moral authority goes way up, but it depends on his diplomacy and piety. And now the Immortals. Some of Persia's finest warriors have taken upon themselves to found a new holy order dedicated to safeguarding the Zoroastrian faith. They call themselves the Immortals, just like the ancient Persian warrior elite described by Herodotus. They seem intent on carrying the martial traditions of these legendary predecessors. This militant holy order has sworn to fight against all who would threaten the legacy of Zoroaster, and to never again allow Zoroastrianism to suffer the reverses it did in the wake of the Arab conquests of the 7th century. And now, here in the new millennium, the legendary warriors have returned. And here is its Grand Master, Godwin. He's a holy warrior, flanker, strategist, zealous, and of course he's humble and ambitious. The Immortals are back as a holy order, which you can join if you got what it takes. Just like with the previous playthroughs you saw from Ragusa, Assyria, Chola, and now here, you can join this holy order now, which will probably happen in many generations' time. I mean, this is a time of peace and prosperity. This is not the time to intervene to other places that have Zoroastrians, because there almost aren't any out there. But now, the return of the High Priest. After an interlude of lasting a few centuries following the Arab conquest, Zoroastrianism has returned as a state religion of Persia. Emperor Dariush has ordered the reinstitution of the office of the Moabadan-Moabad, or the priest of priests. The Moabadan-Moabad serves as the highest religious authority in the Zoroastrian world, with powers ranging from the blessings of future military expeditions to the granting of divorces of married couples. Rejoice! Let it be reminded, he can grant divorces, invasion, and he can call for a holy war. This is what we mean by only expand when it's necessary. In other words, expand when he says so. If he's going to start a war, well then well, there it is. The Great Holy War for Syria. The great Moabadan-Moabad has declared a great holy war against Bad Shah Idris of the Najibid Empire and the followers of Allah in the kingdom of Syria. All true Zoroastrian men are called to arms against the old archenemy. Muhammad was a mouthpiece of Ahriman, and all his works must be destroyed. For Ormazd. But can we really take them on? They're in the middle of a vassalization war, which they do have a defensive pact against them, including Sultan, who is a liberator. What liberator? Liberator of what? Oh, this liberator of the Zikris. Right. One would think is Great Holy War in the new millennium. Oh, as for them, they can't call another one till 20 years later. And for the Catholics, 15. We got time. But the question is anyone committed? Syria's up for grabs. We can join if we want to. But we're a long way from getting everybody together. So Syria, well, it ain't much of Syria. Actually, this part here was originally part of the Kingdom of Syria. Because these guys took it and made it into a part. Uh-huh. The Syria we're after, that stretches from there, and we would have connections to the coast if successful. And taking another one of their Sunni holy sites, I believe. No, not it. Well then. Oh, and by the way, his residence is in Isfahan, capital of Persia. I mean, I can join if I want to, but it's going to be a long way. And plus, I'm a businessman at heart. I got a lot of work to do. I'll think about it, okay? The question is, who wants to join? We got one taker. Who else wants to volunteer? We got more. Kashmir, Azerbaijan. The Immortals have joined. Well, look at you. You're close to being 10,000 strong, just like the Immortals of old. But I believe you can do better. That's hell far away. So, if we want to, and contribute a lot to this great holy war, we can expand into Syria, take another of their power base, and we would have connection to the coast. Which means we could, I don't know, try to spread Zoroastrianism into Eastern Europe, where we can send over there by ship if we wish to. But the problem is, these Catholic realms out there, they'll be a hindrance to Zoroastrian expansionism. But there are other places. And this is the only way we can expand, through great holy wars instead of wars I personally declare. And you're not doing too well, unfortunately. What else? And his armies are massive, and he can defeat all of these with ease. His decadence is lower. Okay, we'll take it. We will join that war, but that'll happen on the next episode. I am going to cut this episode short here. This episode is supposed to be about, the beginning of the new millennium and a new era, as we made it basically halfway through on this entire playthrough. We were able to get the Persian Empire back together, which, by the way, I think this is the first time I've ever... Well, actually, no. If you recall, back in the Croatian series, we reformed the Persian Empire that went from Croatia through Byzantium, through there, through Persia, Sogdiana, able to get it together and restore the High Priesthood. I don't know if any of you Crusader Kings players, I'm asking you viewers that play this game for a living, have you ever reformed the Persian Empire as a Sogdian? I think that's the first time that's done, at least on video here. So, we're able to put together we're able to reunite. That's the word you're looking for. It's been a long night, so I'm glad it's back together. Zoroastrianism is spreading once more and root out any heresies, including Manichaeanism here, which we won't be able to hear from them for a while. And now we go west. On the next episode, I think I will indeed join the war. The Great Zoroastrian Great Holy War for Syria. This would be the only way to expand. And it has to be a victory because most of the domain he controls is in Syria, which we refer to it as that's where his power base resides. So, the Empire of Turan, Persia, also known as the Sogdian Empire, or the Kayanian Empire, depending on how you want to interpret it as, it will expand once more. Just like Yena, who started her expansion from there, Persia, Dalam, Al-Jazira, Baghdad, and I was the one to be given the honor to put the Persian Empire back together again. And we accomplished that too. That, and I hope we better have children soon despite the chassis. But as a reminder, if we don't get children out at 5 years, I'm getting concubines. And we hope you'll be getting some of that in the next episode. Until then, so long for now.